Let's admit it. We live in a time where the word masculine tastes bad. Couple that word with power in public, and you should brace yourself to make a swift exit as you're booed off stage with no shortage of glass bottles, chairs, and all manner of dangerous objects hurled in your direction. Rightly or wrongly, the term masculine power has become synonymous with toxic masculinity. For many people, it provokes associations with tales of men as historical oppressors, of men's objectification and exploitation of the opposite sex, of the insatiable attempt to conquer the world through endless warring and violence, and of a male species who label certain emotions as weakness and do their best to suppress such feelings at all costs. The term itself is likely to invoke images of adolescent boys fighting one another in the schoolyard, unable to resist the floods of testosterone surging through their bodies. Or else we might imagine the power plays of the boardroom, or the countless reports of sexual harassment by the water cooler. It might raise issues such as the gender pay gap, or the disproportionate number of crimes committed by men. Or perhaps someone will simply point to the phallic-shaped structures that dominate the visible landscape, the skyscrapers, the yachts, the big rockets, and war machines, all evidence of a superiority contest that has gotten too far out of hand. The truth is, masculine power has a stain against its name. And why? Because, unfortunately, there have been a large recorded number of men with power and influence who have abused their positions. So what can we do as men and as lovers of men to reclaim masculine power and restore its good name? How can we learn to lead a positive example of masculine strength and integrity in our lives? It's always important to remember the context, that we are living in an era where the idea of masculine and what it means to be a man is being revised. Without any solid model men can turn to, many are left confused and lacking clear guidance as to how to form a healthy relationship with their masculinity. To compensate for this lack, some men jump to extremes. One extreme dedicates himself to an alpha male mentality, in which life is a game to be conquered by force, relationships and status are prizes to be won, and all other men are competitors. They bow to the idea that to be a true man, they must embody their inner warrior and show dominance at all times, never once allowing themselves to reveal their softer sides. Another type of man takes the opposite approach. So afraid of being called a toxic male, they estrange themselves from their masculine traits, often becoming completely subservient to their partners and others. They refrain from making their boundaries known or voicing their disagreements. Terrified of their innate power, they never allow themselves to reveal their hard sides, and as such, become known for having no integrity, no backbone. Neither extreme of these men can attract or maintain healthy relationships, simply because a relationship cannot prosper when there is either too much rigidity or passivity. A successful relationship, whether with others or simply life itself, requires a certain degree of tension and flexibility, a certain amount of give and take. We must all find a balance in our lives between activity and receptivity, between passion and calm. And when there's no answer people can agree on as to what masculine means in our modern age, perhaps it's better to look to the past, or as we might even say, look to the sky. For across various cultures throughout history, it is the sun which has served as a powerful symbol of masculinity. And by looking to the sun, we can quickly remind ourselves of the strong masculine merits it shines a light upon. The sun represents our spirit. It serves as the primary source of energy and light, the constant provider, who not only generates life on our planet, but also sustains it. It is the animating force that inspires action and powers ambition. We can rely on the sun to routinely transit through the sky on a daily basis, rising and setting without fail. And it is under this unwavering strength and constancy that we are able to build our lives. The sun also stands for clarity, knowledge, and awareness. As the great enlightener, it gifts us with the ability to see things clearly, to gain a deeper understanding of our world, and in dispersing darkness, our ability to overcome ignorance. One lesson we can take from the sun is self-empowerment. When we look towards the sun, we are often left gazing up in awe, even shielding our eyes, at its unparalleled brightness and power. It's no surprise then that the sun also symbolizes self-empowerment. And yet, what does it take to become truly self-empowered? The answer lies in our willingness to take responsibility for our lives. And to achieve responsibility, we must first take full ownership of our life experience. We must embody our roles as active participants and co-creators, rather than play the victim. There's little to change the fact that there are many things that happen to us that are beyond our control. We don't often get a choice in what life throws at us. Actually, the only choice we really do have is in how we respond. The ability to respond, this responsibility, is what separates the adult from the child, the grown man from the immature boy. Whereas the child will indulge his pain and spend his precious time complaining, the adult will humbly accept the circumstances as they are, learn the lessons they have to teach him, and act accordingly. This is the key to self-empowerment. The acknowledgement that we will frequently stumble and fall, that the road ahead is unpredictable, even miserable at times, and that we will each have to pass through many seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Yet despite all of this, we never allow it to dull our spirits or dim our light. We continue marching forwards instead, taking responsibility as the manufacturers of our fate. Of course, one of the greatest responsibilities in life is in choosing the career we'll dedicate ourselves to. With a dizzying array of possibilities out there and a rapidly evolving work landscape, just knowing where to start is an intimidating undertaking in itself. That's where today's sponsor, Course Careers, steps into the rescue. Course Careers is an online learning platform designed to help you take the next step towards your perfect career. It offers a wide selection of affordable courses that you can go through at your own pace in order to land your next dream job. No previous experience or degree is necessary. And the platform also provides its students with insider knowledge of how to create the perfect resumes, send in winning applications to companies, nail the interview process, and much more. Don't hesitate to check them out. The link is in the description below. Now let's return to the sun, if only to point out the obvious, that the sun always returns to us. Which brings us to the next lesson the sun has to teach: constancy and consistency. The sun never lets us down. To put it simply, it's constantly there. Such a quality is one we should each work hard to emulate. Where we are constant, we are available to all our loved ones and family members. We perform our necessary tasks and duties, honor our agreements, and meet the many challenges thrown in our path. The constant man never gives up, nor does he shy away from his problems. He faces what needs to be done, and in doing so earns respect and his rightful place in society. Over time, reliability becomes his greatest currency, and precisely because he can be depended upon, he becomes an unmatched source of strength and support to all who need him. Then, a close cousin to constancy is consistency. A man is constant when he is always available, but a man is consistent if he stands by what he believes and has the courage to be seen for who he truly is. His thoughts, speech, and behavior are consistent with one another. That is to say, they are aligned, and such a man always honors his word and acts according to his moral code. He chooses to be himself at all times, even under intense pressure, and as a result, he never betrays himself. Such a man is transparent with whomever he deals with, and as every person knows where they stand with him, he inspires trust in others. Furthermore, discipline cannot be mastered without consistency. A man cannot build muscle if he does not consistently work out. He cannot achieve his career goals without consistently working towards them. He cannot control his mind without consistent meditation, contemplation, or reflection. And he cannot maintain healthy relationships without paying them consistent love and attention. The spirit of life is as constant as the sun's continuously burning at the center of our solar system. That being said, it's important to remind ourselves that for us Earthlings, the sun cannot be up all the time. Our planet endlessly revolves as it orbits the sun, meaning that it's natural for us to alternate between periods of activity and inactivity, labor and rest, day and night. Which brings us to one more of the sun's lessons: the importance of setting down to rest. While we work hard to achieve our goals, to support our families and friends, and to realize our highest potentials, we must also honor our need for replenishment and relaxation. When we start feeding ourselves a story that it is somehow a weakness or a failing to enjoy downtime, we only succeed in overworking or needlessly pushing ourselves over the edge. We burn out just as the sun would scorch the earth if it did not set, thus bringing a premature end to the projects of life it first inspired. We are sensitive and emotional creatures, not machines, and we would do well not to force ourselves to work around the clock at full speed. The man who denies his need to take a break is equivalent to the man who is at war with himself. Our capability to relent and ease up stops us from becoming overbearing or domineering. But like this, it's a non-negotiable. We must all pause in order to renew our strength and seize the oncoming day with all our vitality and vigor. We hope you have been illuminated on masculine power today and have felt guided to include some of the principles in your life. If you found this video helpful or feel like sharing your own thoughts and reflection on masculine power, please drop us a comment below. And make sure to support the channel by sharing, liking, and subscribing for more content just like this.